The Alternative, a Green Manifesto by Robert Johanson. Exponential growth is fundamentally unsustainable. It will create a boom that when it reaches its environmental limits will create a bust. A sustainable system is a steady-state system. We have been experiencing a population boom. We have been experiencing a boom in production. Climate change is a symptom of the boom and a sign that we are reaching the environmental limits of our growth. Corporate capitalism has a constant demand for growth. Capitalism demands compound interest, and compound interest is exponential growth. Capitalism is vacuum cleaner economics. It is an engine for maximizing inequality of wealth and pauperizing the general community. The constant demand by investors for an exponentially increasing amount of money means that the general population has less and less money. This leads to financial crisis. Exponential growth is a boom and bust system. A financial boom leads to a financial crash, which leads to a depression. Capitalism is useful. It provides a way for people who have more money than they know what to do with to lend it to people who have a use for it. We have ways of managing capitalism to slow down the rate of expansion and avoid a financial crisis. We can tax wealth, we can forgive debts, and we can restrain interest rates. The capitalist corporation also functions as a vacuum cleaner, sucking up money from the stakeholders in order to enrich the stockholders. Corporate capitalism is a corrupt corporate structure that puts the stockholders in control of the corporation and allows them to make a profit from lying to customers, stealing from employees, cheating suppliers, and trashing the environment. As long as corporations are required to destroy the environment, if it will make a profit, we will continue to destroy our environment. There is an alternative. We can have socially responsible corporations. If we put the stakeholders in charge of the corporation, then the corporation can focus on their social mission and measure the results for all the stakeholders and not just the stockholders. We need to change our laws of incorporation to eliminate the capitalist corporation and replace it with corporations with a social mission. The last few slides have focused on capitalism as the redistribution of income and creating a steadily increasing inequality. This is a distortion of corporate function. Corporations are primarily concerned with producing social goods and services. Corporations can make a profit by improving the efficiency of their business. Productivity can be increased by cooperation in the form of division of labor or trade, and it can be improved by skill development, mechanization, and computerization. The massive increases in productivity we have witnessed are not due to capitalism, but to cooperation. Changing the corporate structure will help solve some of the problems of income distribution caused by capitalism, but it does not solve the problem of industrial growth. To manage growth, you need government regulation. But when corporations increase the efficiency of the business, it produces more stuff with fewer workers. The workers are then unemployed. The general community then puts pressure on politicians to provide more jobs and grow the economy. The capitalist system is a method of achieving the unequal distribution of income. In order to achieve the unequal distribution of production, it is combined with the free market system. The free market is a system for the distribution of production according to income. In the free market auction, the most power goes to those with the most money. Thus, the free market system creates a world where the rich feast and the poor starve. The classic example is the Irish famine, where the English feasted and the Irish starved. On the other hand, the rich live in mansions and the poor are homeless. The remodeling of social production on the model of the free market creates growing class divisions. There are differences in income which create differences in every other aspect of life. This growing inequality in standard of living produces even more political pressure for growth. A growing economy equals growing consumption, which equals growing GDP. So governments put the growth of GDP as a primary mission. Communist governments seek to increase the GDP with a 5-year plan to improve efficiency. Social democratic governments grow GDP by investing in the military and infrastructure and by running budget deficits. The result is a steadily growing consumption of the planet. There is an alternative. We can shift our political priorities from wealth to health. The biological function of an economy is to provide food, clothing, and housing for the members of the community. An economy that is focused on growing wealth produces an unhealthy economy with hunger, homelessness, and rags. If we shift our goals from wealth to health, we can develop a healthy economy where everyone has food, shelter, and clothing. The focus on growing wealth leads to the kind of growth that is consuming our planet. A focus on healthy functioning leads to a steady state economy that balances human needs with the needs of the environment. In order to focus on health instead of money, we have to look at our society as a biological reality. Health can be understood as the effective functioning of the different parts of the society. The anthropologist Edward T. Hall identified the 10 basic biological functions of a society: communication, order, economy, reproduction, space, time, play, learning, defense, which includes health, and technology. The United Nations has been working on ways to measure the health of a society. One measure that they've come up with is the Inequality-Adjusted Human Development Index. The IHDI measures the health of basic social functions. Thus, social organization is measured by inequality. The economy is measured by per capita GDP. The health of the members is measured by life expectancy, which could also be considered a measure of personal safety. And education is measured by years of schooling. Similarly, the 8 Millennium Development Goals focus on broader measures of social health. Social organization, Goal 3, promote gender equality and empower women. Goal 8, a global partnership for development. The economy, Goal 1, eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. Reproduction, Goal 4, reduce child mortality. And Goal 5, improve maternal health. Education, Goal 2, achieve universal primary education. Healthcare, Goal 6, combat HIV, AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. Technology, Goal 7, ensure environmental sustainability. Similarly, with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, there is an understandable focus on technology, but the majority of the goals focus on a healthy social biology. Even the United Nations Sustainability Plan assumes that the goal is economic growth. More stuff. Our economic efficiency has made us the wealthiest society in the history of the world, but we have reached the point where that exponential growth is starting to stress the environment. We are reaching the limits of the level of consumption that the planet will tolerate. Global warming is just one of the devastating effects of our industrial growth. We need to move from a growth-centered economy to a steady-state economy. That means moving our core social value from wealth to health. That means changing from seeing society as a mechanism to seeing society as a biological system, and that requires a fundamental change in our worldview. In order for us to make the shift from looking at society as a mechanism to looking at society as a biological system, we have to make a change in the way we look at reality. We need to move from materialism to holism. The core ideology of Western industrial civilization is materialism. It says that only matter and energy are real. Other things like ideas, talking, decision-making aren't really real. They're all just in your head. Therefore, the world is just a matter and energy machine that is driven by laws of cause and effect. Therefore, people who think, communicate, and make decisions are not really part of the world. Since people are so radically different from the world, they will not be affected by a destruction of the environment. They will get on a spaceship and go someplace else. Western industrial civilization is destroying the environment because of its basic worldview. Westerners don't care about the environment because they do not see themselves as a part of the environment. People are merely objective observers. To the mechanistic reductionist, these geese are just a more complicated kind of machine. There is an alternative philosophy, holism. It means seeing reality as a web of life of which we are a part. In a holistic vision, we are nested in larger realities of which we are a part. Thus, the self belongs to a family, which belongs to a community, which belongs to humanity, which belongs to nature, which belongs to Gaia, which belongs to the universe, which belongs to God. The meaning of life is found in our relationships. The earth is not just a blue dot in the sky. The earth is our home. We are earthlings. We belong here. We're part of the earth in all its complexity. The university is the central teaching authority in Western society and defines the Western worldview. The university enforces materialism because of the intellectual dominance of Western science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But change is coming. Holistic understandings are emerging. Holism sees a unified world that unifies the world of mind and matter. Thus, modern genetic research sees DNA as both an acid with an energy valence and also as coded genetic ideas that control the development of the organism. The Gaia hypothesis sees life on this planet as having purposes and goals that maintain key equilibrium values for life. Biologists are beginning to look at evolution as a process of symbiosis, of communication and cooperation. Spirituality has normally been the counterbalance to materialism. People who believe in God are automatically holistic. They see our lives as part of a larger reality. People are beginning to see that we are part of planet Earth and we belong here. For some people, this means a new respect for native spirituality and Aboriginal animism. Other religions are rediscovering the essentially holistic nature of what it means to believe in God. To sum up, we are systematically destroying our ecosystem because of our basic materialist worldview. It leads to a political value of wealth, an economic value of GDP growth, a corporate purpose of maximizing shareholder value, and individual values of selfishness and greed. But there is an alternative. If we adopt a holistic worldview, then this leads to a political value of social health and an economic value of meeting basic human needs, a corporate purpose of social value, and individual values of love and respect.